And the Patrik Laine story just keeps on getting more and more and more interesting because, hey, it's been a while. We spoke about Patrik Laine a few weeks ago. Was that even a few weeks ago? I don't even know if it was a week and a half ago. But the last time we spoke about Laine, we spoke about a Finnish news outlet where they wrote an article talking about how Patrik Laine will leave Winnipeg, either via the means of a trade or either by free agency in a few years. But today we're speaking more on the actual departure of Laine himself, the idea of a Laine departure, because it was mentioned yesterday on TSN Insider Trading a few very interesting points. Now, I'll leave a link in the description to the Insider Trading video. The video is there. Also, there's a transcript of everything that is said down underneath the video player, so you can read that if you don't want to listen to it. But instead of going over that, because this is a big wall of text, there's a lot of stuff here, and I don't want to just read it word for word verbatim for like 2 minutes straight. What we're doing is we're going over onto Spector's Hockey. Check out Spector's Hockey. Lyle Richardson, he compiles a lot of rumors and stuff. He does a very good job at doing his job. And he published a piece talking about what exactly was said on TSN Insider Trading regarding Patrik Laine, the second overall pick in the 2016 NHL entry draft and quote-unquote franchise-defining goal scorer, and the Winnipeg Jets themselves. Let's take a look at this. This is the rumor mill from yesterday, October 16th. Pierre LeBrun reports the agents for Patrik Laine denied speculation suggesting that he wouldn't report to Jets training camp if he is not traded before then. Now, okay, pause right there. What? We had rumors about that? We had rumors about Patrik Laine pulling off one of these Lias Andersson, Jesse Puljujarvi type moves where training camp comes and he just doesn't show up? I didn't really see anything about that, but if anything did happen where that was an idea that was discussed, please let me know in the comment section below because I think I might have missed it. That's huge. But at the very least, we had confirmation, at least, from the agents saying, hey, that's not true. No matter what happens, if he's traded, if he's not traded, whatever, he will come to camp. No questions asked. Okay, next sentence in this piece right here. However, Patrik Laine knows he has been in trade discussion. Given his lack of first-line minutes over the last 2 years, his agents believe it would be mutually beneficial to the player and the team if he is dealt before training camp. So the agents, first off, they say, yeah, you know, he's gonna come. There's no way this guy is gonna ditch training camp. He's gonna show up. But, you know, on the other hand, I think it would be better if he did get traded. You know, it would be mutually beneficial for both parties, both Laine, both the Jets, if a Laine trade is made before the training camp gets underway. Oh, boy. They added, there's been clear communication with Jets GM Kevin Cheveldayoff. So just from this paragraph, the narrative is it's the agents behind the scenes, it's the camp, it's the Laine party doing all the moving of the cogs over here, getting the word out there that, yeah, you know, Laine is going to do whatever he can to become a great hockey player, but it would probably be best if he did that elsewhere, not in Winnipeg. Next paragraph, though, it goes over Kevin Cheveldayoff. LeBrun spoke to Cheveldayoff, who maintains that he is considering all trade options and insists that Laine remains a big part of the Jets organization. However, he feels the Winnipeg GM isn't going to trade the winger just for the sake of making a trade, and they would want a return that makes sense for the club. So, that second part, yes, of course, that does make sense. You wouldn't say, okay, well, this guy wants a trade, which means we're trading him away. Hey, other GMs in the league, you guys want Laine? Take him. Whatever you want, it's yours. That's not how it works. This is the whole Ken Holland, Jesse Puljujarvi thing going on here. Just because the player asks for a trade, or just because the player is in a position where him or his party wants a trade, it doesn't mean they're going to make a trade just because he asked. There has to be somebody on the other side biting the bullet and giving some equally charged firepower back. You're not going to trade Laine for a second-round pick. You're going to trade Laine for what he's worth, a very, very good collection of pieces. Whether that's a second-line center, which you don't need anymore because you have Stastny, or it's a defenseman, which you don't need anymore because you re-signed Spiza. Ooh. Yeah, I'm joking about that one, but There still is an opportunity here. It's just now that free agency has gone by, it's October 18th right now. It's the middle of October. We're past all this stuff. We still have some room to go before NHL training camp starts. We have a lot of time, but with the flat cap and all that, plus Patrik Laine's inevitable extension that he's going to need a few years down the line, you're going to have a hard time. A really hard time trying to find a team that's actually willing to give up a price that you would feel is necessary and appropriate for a Laine return. We've spoken about this many times, but people have been throwing around names like Philadelphia. People have been saying things like, oh, Columbus or Montreal. We've spoken about those teams. Spectre's Hockey actually brings up a very interesting idea over here in his own piece. It's the Spectre's Note part of the article where he interjects with his own editorial opinion. He writes about how it's probably not that first-line center anymore that the Jets would want in a trade. It's probably another defender to play alongside of Josh Morrissey and a guy who can suit up on the right side, do his job over there. The question is, which team needs scoring and has the defensive depth to make that move? The teams listed here as possibilities, obviously this is just speculation, the Hurricanes with Brett Pesce, the Florida Panthers with Aaron Ekblad, Minnesota with Matt Dumba, New Jersey with PK Subban, and then you have the Blue Jackets who have Seth Jones, Savard, they have themselves their own agenda. So the entire argument as to what could be returned is completely limited and contingent on the circumstances. Obviously, you can discuss the ideas of each of these teams going after Laine. In fact, we've spoken about them a few times in previous videos. We spoke about Columbus, we spoke about Carolina. Apparently, the Carolina Hurricanes were involved in talks earlier, but they backed out because the price was too high. We spoke about Montreal several times and how Bergevin said that the price was too high too. So, even taking a look at some of these other teams, New Jersey with Subban or Minnesota and Dumba, you're going to need to add stuff. Because, first off, Laine and Subban, Laine is more valuable. Laine and Dumba, Laine is probably more valuable. In my own personal opinion, I mean, I'm not an NHL GM. I can't evaluate things in the ways that NHL GMs can. But you're going to have to add. And that's just the whole truth about it. Not only are you giving away a defender who can probably play top 2 minutes, but you're also giving away a draft pick or a very good prospect. Is that enough for Patrik Laine? And from this point, when you take a look at what the price would be, what the Winnipeg Jets want, and the current state of the market with the flat cap, the uncertainty, all that, I don't know if it's going to get done. That's just my own personal opinion injecting itself into this commentary here, but I don't think Laine is getting traded. Unless a team is willing to go out there and completely sacrifice a big portion of their current roster and another chunk of what would be their long-term future. And I say a chunk because Patrik Laine is young. He can definitely do well and do great things going into the future too. So even though you may be giving up a prospect and a D-man, hey, you're still getting Laine back who can probably tear this league apart goal for goal for the next decade. But still, there's a price. And I don't know how willing other teams would be to pay it. But with this idea pushed out into the media even further, it may cause the Winnipeg Jets to bite on a shorter stick. Who knows where these reports are coming out of that the Laine camp would like a trade and they would feel it's mutually beneficial, but all of a sudden NHL teams from around the league, they can look at TSN Insider Trading, turn on the TV and see Pierre LeBrun saying, yeah, you know, this guy's on the block, this guy is a guy whose party wants him to get traded. And all of a sudden, it's Jarmo Kekalainen and Colin Cheveldayoff on the phone and saying, hey, your guy wants out. We have the negotiating power now. So who really knows what's going to go on here? Because one side is going to have to give. Either the Winnipeg Jets take on a short, low-ball offer because they have no other choice, because there's no more leverage, or another team is out there and they are willing to give up a huge part of their own organization to get a few years of Patrik Laine back. So talk to me in the comments what you think about Patrik Laine. First off, what we spoke about earlier, where there were reports about him not going to training camp if he's not traded by the start of the season, which is baloney. But secondly, about the idea that his party wants a trade, because now, all of a sudden, things are getting very, very interesting, and I don't even really know where we're going to go from here. I said I don't think it's likely he gets traded, but that's only contingent on each of the sides, the other teams and the Jets, staying true to what they want. So who knows? Talk to me in the comments what you think about this whole idea. Hope you enjoyed this video. That's Ross 99. And bye.